Hello students. Today I'm going to show you how to create a sphere and add in shading to make it look 3D. So when we first draw our sphere, I like to do a technique called the plane trying to land. If you've ever looked in the sky and you've seen a plane trying to come down and land, it circles around the airfield. So I'm gonna circle my hand in this kind of continuous nonstop motion. And I'm trying to make my hand feel continuous and in a perfect, as much as I can, perfect shape. I don't want it kind of wonky, like up and down like that, or kind of everywhere. I want it in this kind of circular, smooth motion. And when I think I have that, I'm going to land my plane. I'm going to land the pencil on the paper. So I'm going and I'm going, and there is the start of my sphere. Now it's not 100% perfect, but that's okay. So I can look at it and I can see that this side is kind of drooping a little. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to lightly sketch it the way I want it. I think that is a little bit better. So I'm going to erase that first line. And again, the trick with sketching is to do everything lightly so you can go back and erase it. So when I'm happy with this, then I'm going to determine where my light source is coming from. If I want my light on the right shining this way, or if I want my light on the left shining this way. And for me, it's more comfortable if I shade this way. So I'm gonna have my light source on the right-hand side. I think I'm going to do cross hatching today. Cross hatching is that X type of shading. So if my light source is here, that means it's shining on this side of the sphere. So this is gonna be no value. And then it's gonna go little value, medium value, darkest value. So I'm gonna start with my light value. So I'm lightly putting my pencil on the paper and lightly shading in my sphere. And you need to try your best to stay inside the lines because it gives it a nice, clean, smooth, crisp edge, and that helps it pop out. So another tip with shading is take your time. Shading is all about layering and building up. It's not gonna all happen at once. It takes time. So there is my light value. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back a second time and I'm gonna work on my middle value. So I'm going to press a little harder with my pencil. And I'm gonna work on a middle value. And since I said earlier that I want to do cross hatching, I'll go ahead and switch the direction of my pencil, and I'll add in another middle value, medium value, with my cross hatching. So we have light sources on this side shining onto our sphere. So we have no value, light value, medium value, or middle value. Now I need my dark value. So I'm gonna go on this side of my sphere and pressing a little bit harder than last time and keep shading in. And I'm gonna extend it, or I'm gonna put it towards the bottom of our sphere, because that's where our shadow is gonna be created later. And then I'm cross hatching, so I'm gonna switch the direction of my pencil. Looking good. Okay, I am pretty happy with this. So now I'm gonna work on my shadow. So if the light source is on the right-hand side, it's gonna be a pretty crisp, defined shadow on this side of the sphere. So I'm gonna take my pencil and I'm gonna outline that with a dark line. And on the bottom of our sphere. And then I'm gonna do shading on the bottom where the shadow would be. I'm gonna start a little heavy. So this is our dark value. I'm gonna lighten up my pressure and do a medium value. And then lighten it a little bit more and do a light value. And notice the shadow starts off kind of wide and then it gets narrow, it gets skinnier. And then I'm gonna go back in and add some more to my dark value. Wonderful. And then take your pencil and clean up any stray lines that you see floating around. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, sounds great.